my name is Hilliker. I currently work in the Research and Simulation Service here at Northampton General Hospital. You may have seen the recent BBC documentary Football, My Mental Health from Prince William, which I joined through St United, which is a local football team for bereaved fathers here in the UK. Just a bit about my story. Back in 2013, 2014, start 2014, myself and my wife lost a child, and through natural causes, nothing we could have done about it. We found out when she was 16 weeks pregnant. Unfortunately, that ended negatively and played a huge part in my mental health and my wife's mental health. For my wife, she suffered through depression and anxiety, and for myself, it was mostly my anxiety, which was caused through worrying about making sure my wife was okay. In the documentary, we talk about men's mental health and why is it that men find it so difficult to have a conversation with anyone about what they're feeling or what is going through their minds or what they're thinking, and why is it so difficult for us to open up. And that was the main focus point through Prince William, and he followed Sands for nearly a year to try and understand what it is that we do to help us feel okay to talk. For those that do have problems, my biggest thing to say is that there is no reason why you can't talk. You know, men have this persona that they need to be that strong person that looks after everyone, and it's exactly what I did in 2014. But actually, maybe looking back now, if I took a moment to speak to someone, then maybe I would have been even more stronger. We have feelings too, like everybody else in the world, and there should be no reason why we hide them. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background about the football team and why it is so big for me, because that is my main part of my anxiety. So my anxiety that I suffer with is things like making sure my things are okay. So, for example, if my son is poorly or my wife is poorly, straight away, without any hazard of doubt, I will think it's the worst. Causes my heart to race, palpitations, you name it, I get it. And what keeps me calm when I'm at home is just to take a minute and really think this through. Is it plausible that this could happen? One of the big things, like I said, is football for me. We talked briefly a minute ago about St United. St United is a team that is made through dads that have all suffered child loss or been involved in child loss for men. It was started 3 years ago, by a gentleman called Rob Allen. He started it after he lost his daughter Neve, and it's gone crazy since then, with 25, nearly 30 teams across the UK, and it's just huge. Football for me is mine 90 minutes or more where I can forget about my general world problems. When I turn up in the morning or turn up to training, that's my focus, into remembering the child that's no longer here anymore, but also that is my opportunity to forget about whether it's my anxiety on a high, whether it's money, whether it's work. It could be anything, and that's my time to forget. And that is why it's such a big part. And obviously, COVID has stopped that. It's been a challenging 12 weeks or however long it's been now for absolutely everybody. Whether you're working still here at NGH or your family members have been furloughed or whatever the case is, or you're being a teacher now at home, whatever the case is, it's been challenging for everyone and in every single thing that we've done. For me personally, the biggest challenge for me, because as NHS staff, our life hasn't really changed. You know, we are really, really busy at work, trying to do the best we can, but we still get up, we come to work, we do the best we can, we go home. for me anyway. But for what has changed is the fact that I can't get any of some me time, as they say, because football is the me time. You know, I go with my son or my wife or something like that, someone like that. Let's scrap that bit, cut that bit out. So football has obviously stopped because of COVID, and what that meant for me is that I wasn't able to have that connection with any of the lads at Sands United. Obviously, we could talk on WhatsApp, but that don't mean that's not as the same as seeing face to face or kicking the ball around. So that stopped. So I haven't been able to cope with that. But a blessing is that I've been able to spend a bit more time at home with my son playing football and playing Xbox with my stepson. So there is a blessing for that. Also, there's been no football on the telly, so I'm a big Northampton Town fan. The playoffs are obviously starting here soon, so at least they'll be back. But we're not been able to go watch it, and that is a big bonding session for me and my son Harry. And that's been taken away quite quickly. And there is this weird negative persona about football and why we should rush it back and stuff like that, and it's dangerous. And I understand that the biggest thing for us is to be safe and keep our distance and stuff. But football for so many people is actually such a big relief is such a big relief and an opportunity for them to forget, like I said, like I do, my world problems for however long it is, and you follow that team across the world and across the country doing different bits and bobs. So that has probably been the biggest impact for me playing football, not being able to play football, is that it's been difficult to try and control my anxiety as such. So working through this time, it was a case of basically just trying to make sure that you get some switch off time, whatever that be. So here at the research service, we did change our shifts a little bit, but overly we weren't massively because training wasn't really affected. But we were pulled onto the wards clinical a few times here at Northampton, but not all the time. What we did for me personally is obviously my wife was at home being a teacher. She did not like that one bit. So we tried to make sure that she got a moment to, and the kids got a moment to just be kids and play and have fun for a bit, and it's not all school, and keep the motivation high, because there was a sense of, it was a difficult moment where you would roll out of bed and you would just stay in your pajamas and do your schoolwork, and that's essentially you're not getting up and getting active, and that is a big thing. So we changed that. We've brought in going for walks 3 times a week to try and make sure it's getting out and about and doing something, but we now seem to see the end, and the shops are opening, and we're allowed to see 6 people, so the end is in there, and hopefully this is the next steps. So if you're watching this and you're similar to me and you suffer anxiety, and maybe football or any sport or anything is a big thing for you, is my advice to you is just try and take little steps. Each day take little steps going forward and see where it gets you. You know, you don't have to challenge yourself to do huge amounts of things every single day. Little wins, focusing on anything it is you want to do. So for example, if you say by August the 15th you want to make sure your house is painted, whatever, just little wins each day, do little bits just to keep yourself busy during this. For me, my anxiety, I did walks, I did exercise, I took up going on my bike, fishing, anything that would keep me busy to keep my anxiety on a low. And just be willing to have a chat with anyone, whether that is your next door neighbour, your best friend, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, anyone. Just have a chat with them. There is no reason why you shouldn't open up to them and be honest with them, because they need to know as much as you do so they can try and help you understand what's going through your head at that moment in time. And don't ever be ashamed or feel like you're going to be judged on it, because every single person does, and it just makes you feel better. Everybody has their challenges in life, but it's all about how we overcome them and how we face them. And just my advice is chat out whoever. Make sure you're texting your mates during this time, you're texting your neighbour, you're checking in on everyone just to make sure they're okay. Even if it's a two-worded text, you okay? It opens that door to have that conversation. Thanks.